So guys, a stunning Saturday morning here up in the mountains of Morphia, and you can see I'm sat surrounded by tools and bits and bobs in front of the Moto Guzzi V60, V65 I should say. The Moto Guzzi large block is over there, and I've now got the paperwork back from Italy, from the Moto Guzzi factory, to give me the certificate of origin for this particular bike and its history, where it went to in Spain, how it got to be a police bike, etc., and the technical sheet. From that I can get this bike registered now as a classic bike once I get it sorted out. Now you can see this side I'm fiddling around with the head on this side. The reason I'm doing that, I'll go through quickly. This side has been running really rich for a long time. We've tried all the options, or I've tried all the options I should say. I've tried changing the carb, check the mixture both sides. Whatever I do, it still runs sooty. I've changed the coil leads over, so the HT leads, I flipped them over to the opposite sides, taken the low tension cable off and swapped them over so that it's running correctly. Still sooty on this side. Disconnected the airbox on both sides, cleaned the plugs, put them back, still sooty on this side, but running okay. You'll get a couple of kilometre run out of it where it's going like a bat out of hell. Good compression, no blue smoke coming out the exhaust. Running a compression tester which is down there in the box. I'm getting 130 psi on the good side, that's running really sweet. 150 on the bad side, which is quite strange. On looking at the plugs sooty and oily. No oil that I can see in the airbox, because like I just said, we'd get a different scenario. Both chokes would be pulling in oil and it would be fouling the plugs on both sides. So eventually my final conclusion, after removing the oil filler cap at the bottom and running the bike, there's definite pressure down in the sump, a little bit of gas smoke blowing out the sump as well when the top's off, and I found out the hard way. I took it off and got covered in oil, splattered everywhere. So my conclusion is that the other side is pretty good. This side I'm going to take everything off. I'm going to get the head off. I've got new gasket kits coming for both sides, and my hope is that it's not the rings. I can't see it being the rings because of the compression and no blue smoke. That said, if there's oil in the pots, or if there's soot getting in the pots, it does make the pots tighter so they seal a little bit better. So it's contrary to what you would think, burning oil as much. So my final conclusion was that the valve guides on this particular side, maybe on the exhaust valve, are shot, and that the oil coming up to the top of the rocker arms over the top of the valves is then tracking down through the valve stems, or vice versa. We're getting pressure up through the valve stems, and that's blowing air back down into the sump and giving us compression. Also, that's causing fouling within the pot, so we're getting some sort of oil or lack of pressure in the pot to not get a clean burn, so we're getting this oily sooty burn in there. So I'm in the process of stripping it down. The front's come off, the timing on the front, so I can crank the engine over. I've got it top dead centre at the moment to release the pressure on the two valves. I'm going to take the valve set off and the rocker arms, then I'll lower it down to bottom dead centre and we'll remove the head, and hopefully then we should get a good look at the valves and see what we're up against. If the valves are bad, hopefully the valves are going to be okay and it's just going to be the valve guides. I've got a good supplier for the valve guides, so I can get a couple of them. If that's the case, the head will have to go in the oven, get to about 150 degrees. The valve guides, the new ones, once I've driven the old ones out, can go in the freezer to be chilled. We'll put the new valve guides back in and we'll rebuild it, but probably while I've got this side off and I'm looking at it, depending on how it looks, I may do both sides, relap both sets of valves in and just give it a decoke on both sides while I'm doing it, just to get a uniform service on it. So we'll know better when the head's off, so join me later in the video and we'll look at it when the head is off and we can get a better look at the valves. So after many hours of digging around on the old internet and looking at options myself, I thought it must be a valve problem on the top. Now, like I say, we've got brilliant compression. The valves are adjusted. I've loosened them off now. They were adjusted perfectly to 15 and 20. Same on the other side. The carbs were balanced as well as I could get them balanced, but I couldn't get the right air mixture on this side. So obviously there's some sort of pressure or difference in this pot on this side. running okay when it's got a clean plug in. It's going like a bat out of hell, really responsive. Guys, we'll get the rocker assembly out of the way. Just slightly ease this off very carefully and keep the whole thing together, and we'll get that stored away in my little box of bits. That can go in there. Now you can see under the rocker arm you've got two shims, and they really need to go back where they've come off. These are going to be shimmed to a thickness either side to get the factory rocker arms sitting perfectly how they're supposed to. So I've marked them whether it's going to stay on with an indelible pen. I've used a red and a black. I don't know which one will be the best, but I've put a left on the left one and a right on the right one, which is pretty logical, I suppose. So they'll go in the tub with the other bits. An interesting point on these particular Moto Guzzis, a lot of bikes have the similar sort of thing, is that you can see there's a nut here and there's one on the other side. These are for balancing the carburetors up on a vacuum. So when I eventually get it both sides done, we can take these off and we get a cheap vacuum set off Amazon. They're only about €16 or so. And we can put a vacuum lead on this side, vacuum lead on the other side, and we can balance the two carbs up so that the same pressure in both. That'll give us a lot smoother running. So the next step is to get the carb off and the header pipe. I've loosened the flange off, as you can see there, but obviously we've got to remove this. There's a central pipe that joins the two pipes together that I might be able to leave on at the moment just while we're doing an inspection on this particular side. So same again, guys, when you're pulling the valve connector rods out, pull them out carefully. They're quite dry, and again mark them left and right, pretty good condition. There's no wear on the ends. I'll put them in the box, and next step, exhaust off. So the exhaust finally off. Bit of a pig, one of the nuts that goes on the bracket on the back of the side sheared off, but it's not a problem. It can be reamed out and or another stud welded onto the back of the exhaust. Right, so far so good. The exhaust off. Couldn't get away with just doing one side. I had to take the whole thing off. It was seized up on the middle through section. So next job is carefully taking the head off and see what we can see under there. Well, guys, okay, head bolts off. Only 3 head bolts on the V65. There's 2 studs at the back, Allen studs, and 1 small nut at the front. And surprisingly, as you can see, it's very loose. Surprisingly, when I undid them, it took no more than they weren't, to my mind, torqued up at all. They weren't very hard to undo. In fact, the back nut I undid with a tiny little ratchet and I think it's a 12mm spanner with hardly any force at all. It was just a quick turn. Same on the front too. So could well be, might be wrong, that it just might be the head gasket is leaking internally across into the valve, guys. So I'm going to pull the head off now and have a look,